Welcome back to F1 2016 here, guys. It's been a little while. It's been a little while since this went up. This is literally the season 1 complete screen, as you can see. It's season 2. We're finally getting around to some season 2, and it is pretty crazy to think. It's been a little while since this was uploaded. Yes, I know. But I just wanted to do some different stuff with Motorsport Manager, and then I had to drag that out. Christmas period, tea and family, etc. You probably hear as well my voice is dying because, working in an office, stuff gets spread about, whatever. I had some spare time and I wanted to do this video because it's the intro and the first part for Season 2 of F1 2016. If you haven't seen the last season, go back and watch it because we drove for Renault. As you can see here, there's massive spoilers there, but still, go watch the last season. It was great. Because this season, I know I said I was going to make Renault great again. However, I've moved over to Haas because Haas, however you want to say it. Because I feel like there's more opportunity there. And hopefully we'll see that a little bit more as we go sort of into the video. I haven't actually, when I edited this together, I recorded this footage about a month ago. In fact, I've recorded the first 3 races of the season about a month ago and I had the means to sit down. Whatever, that's excuses. Doesn't matter. So either way, we're at Haas. They want us to finish 13th this season. We are the second slowest car on the grid as opposed to the third slowest as we were last year. So it's probably going to be a lot of the same from what essentially it was at the start of last season. But I'm hoping that being more used to the game now, we can climb. Haas only did 1 upgrade last season, as you can see. So essentially, I want to bring myself up and obviously get points as soon as. So here we go. It's Melbourne for the first race of the season, of course. We did practice, as we would do. I'm not going to bother including any of that in Season 2, because we're going to change up the editing style a little bit here. There's no point in showing you, because I'm going to be doing it to develop the car. So we've got 50 in all the sessions, in all the tests. And that's great, because that's going to mean that the car's going to be looking a hell of a lot better. Here we go. We're going to leap into qualifying just now. This is our second run. You can see that our delta, the intro to the lap, hasn't been anywhere near as good. Our target is 19th place, and we're currently sat 22nd. That goes to show how well the car was performing on the super soft tyre here. And as I said last year, Melbourne, not my greatest circuit, but we have to get used to a new, slower car. And I feel as if I'm a lot more used to the game, as I just said, slightly a little bit earlier. So I should be faster. And as you can see, that delta's coming down in this final sector, which I do feel that I messed up quite a lot with on my first lap. And I absolutely nailed this section just here. That corner right there felt beautiful. And this one here, I finally nailed it. Because you can see on the exit, my delta just shoots up where I'd gone slightly too wide before, kissing the apex oh so slightly there, coming around the final corner. And our delta's just blown up. We're going to be over half a second faster as we charge towards the line here. And where's that going to put us up? It gets us 17th. So it's not good enough to get through to the second part of qualifying. But to be honest, I didn't exactly expect to be able to get through. We did get ahead of Grosjean, but then I believe he went out again and beat us. So Magnussen fastest in the first session, Jolyon Palmer in third, who regains his seat. So Renault still got their British driver, but yeah, it's 18th. I didn't expect much more, if I'm honest, but we'll see how it goes in the race, because it's now time for the Australian Grand Prix. As you can see, it's absolutely pelting it down in Melbourne here. So full wet to start with, and it looks this is going to die off a little bit later. And to be honest, this is exactly what I wanted, because if there was any opportunity for us to climb this field and maybe score some points, it would be the wet weather, because the AI is fair in the wet weather. Not super OP like it has been in the past. So it's going to be a simple wets to about the midpoint of the race, then swapping over to intermediates. So it's going to be all about keeping our head in the early laps and making up as many positions as we can, and obviously trying not to lose any parts of our car, and just slowly climb the field, because we've got Grosjean behind us, Kvyat just ahead there, and I can't remember, was it wet last year? No, it was a dry race last year in the Renault. So new team, new season, we've still got to prove ourselves, as we're now going to build with 3, 4, 5 lights. And 2017 season is underway. We've bogged down a little bit off the line. Looks like Wehrlein's going to pull alongside us there in the manor. There's jostling up ahead. We're going to have to go down the inside, get out of the spray a little bit. Still be cautious into turn 1 if we can. We're going through. Oh, there's spinners. There's Palmer. There's Vettel. They're round. We've got to try and pick the bones. Yellow flags. We can't really look to overtake anyone. We're up into 12th, though, behind Alonso. Oh, and there's a safety car. The safety car got called, and Alonso jumped on the brakes, and that's broken our front wing. But what a start. You know, that's not exactly what we need to see into turn 1. You know, the returning Jolyon Palmer making contact with the Ferrari. I'm sure we're going to replay that in a minute. I wouldn't have repaired my front wing, but because of the safety car, I figured it would make sense. You know, if it had carried on racing, then I would have just lived with it. But in the wet, you need as much downforce as possible. So we're coming in. We're getting the front wing changed. We're going to go into another set of wet tyres. Obviously, Vettel's right the way down the back. It looks like Felipe Nasr is behind us as well. So whatever calamity he had at the start of the race. But he was down the back anyway, so that's probably not going to affect anything. But we got 7 places at the start there. We would have been in a great position after the safety car. But some of these things can't be helped. So the Haas boys get a new front wing on there. And we've just got to catch the back of the queue and line up behind Seb Vettel, who I didn't think we were going to be racing. At this juncture. Well, you know, you didn't think we'd be racing him this season, but here we go. We're on board with Vettel at the start now. You see one of the Mercedes cuts across to try and split the Red Bulls. Vettel now takes the inside. They're going to go 4 abreast into turn 1, and it's not going to go. Vettel doesn't even try. He looks like he got shunted up the back. He's been spun around. You see one of the Manners there as well was definitely come off quite badly. Here we go with Palmer now. So you see the Mercedes pull out. There's Vettel looking to make his move on the right. You got Palmer next to one of the other Mercedes here. And there he goes. Oh, that's where Hamilton hits him. And then they all just come across. Palmer really kind of like an innocent party in all of this. There we are with Alonso as Palmer now reverses. And Vettel's gone into the path of Grosjean. That's probably ruined his race as well a little bit with front wing damage. But the safety car was out for 4 laps. Here we go. We're going to look to resume racing at the end of lap 4. A long way off the lead. So you got Palmer ahead of us. And Rosberg's out the race. I believe that was an engine failure, very much similar to last year, if you remember. Rosberg retired with an engine failure right at the end of the safety car. So maybe Mercedes want to take a look at what their engine is doing at the end of a safety car period for it to want to blow up by that. You see him at the side of the road there. Everyone sets the fastest laps as we go racing again, including ourselves, and Nasr's probably going to beat that. Yep, yes he does, absolutely. So we're just going to try and follow Palmer and Vettel through the field here because they're going to be cutting through it. Our car is much slower, but you know, just hopefully try and stick behind them to the best of our ability and then just climb through, because you can see Palmer already up the back of Marcus Ericsson, Vettel closing in on him, and then we've got some serious understeer a little bit later on into the lap. You can see Palmer's got past him, and now Vettel looks to be lining up Ericsson, but he doesn't want to make the move. We're going to go down the inside of one of the final few corners here, and nice clean move on Vettel up into 18th place, and we're going to have to look to get past Ericsson, because if Vettel can get held behind him, we can try and build a gap and try and catch Palmer. Here we go, penultimate corner, down the inside, car sliding under braking. But we get it in, and we're up into 17th place. And now we're going to have to stick on the back of Jolyon Palmer as he tries to catch up to the field, because it looks as if Grosjean is ever so slightly up the field. And as you just heard from the engineer, the light rain is coming. So here we go. We've dropped off the back of Palmer a little bit, but he's now behind Grosjean. We've got it completely wrong through the fast chicane. That's going to give Vettel a great run on us. We squeeze him a bit, but the German just absolutely does not want to give up the place. And then we got tagged on him a little bit there. Right around the outside of him, if we can, getting just about enough drive off the curb, but we retain the position just about with some, you got to say, maybe some questionable driving in treacherous conditions, but what can you do? Palmer gets past Grosjean, then gets it completely wrong into turn 1. That slows Grosjean up here, and we could be on for getting past our teammate here into turn 3. Sticking the slipstream a little bit so the spray kicks up. Dart out from behind him, easy on the brakes. Don't want to go careening into the side of your teammate. And there we go, we get through, and Grosjean cuts Vettel off. So once again, we're in the position of trying to chase down Palmer while we've got a slower car protecting us from Vettel. This is a couple of laps later by the looks of things. This is a Williams of Bottas, and I think he's going to have a, catastrophic engine failure through the chicane. So once again, a Mercedes-powered car blowing up. And here we go, it's actually brought out a virtual safety car. So again, you could see we're dropping back from Palmer, because obviously he's in the 4th fastest car with all the work we did on the Renault over the course of last year. So It is unfortunate, but now we're going to try and use the end of the virtual safety car to close up. Didn't manage to do so. Palmer tries getting past Wehrlein into turn 1. He's cost Wehrlein a bucket load of time. We're going to go round Wehrlein. And again, we can't seem to get on the back of Palmer. I've been staring at the back of this Renault for the better part of 12 laps now. And this is the closest we've ever been. Vettel making a bold move on the Manor, if you just saw in the mirror there. I didn't notice that at the time. I've just seen it on the replay here. So it looks as if everyone's diving in for tyres. But what tyres are they going to be putting on? It's pretty much near the crossover point from what my engineer said. So if they're going to intermediates, we're going to lose out a heap load of time. So, but you can see the rain, at least on the camera here, appears to be getting a little bit lighter. So, and we're still up behind Palmer. Our car has finally switched on, it would appear, and Palmer's definitely going slowly. This is an unlikely passing opportunity, but we're going to send it down the inside. Absolutely fed up of looking at the back of that Renault for so many laps. Through on Palmer, up into 8th place. We get it completely wrong. More cars are in the pits, so we're going to go around the final corner here. And let's see, there are cars exiting the pits. Can we see what tyres via the top left that they're on? Cars going down the pit lane. They all appear to be wet. They're all putting on fresh wets. You see Verstappen leaving the pit lane there, and he's on wets. But the rain has got significant... Oh, has everyone thrown it away, and are we going to benefit? Try and get a weather report, but the team don't appear to have any information for me. But I could just feel the car getting slipperier and slipperier on the surface. So we're coming in at the end of lap 16. It would appear everyone else is as well. We're going to fit intermediates, as is everybody else. And I think here, we have been gifted 5th position. Because that's what we had got up to just before this. Look, everyone's rushing out for intermediates. They've all come in. The AI has made a horrific blunder with its strategy. And we're coming in for intermediate tyres. And we're in 5th. Danny Kvyat, I believe that was, goes past, still on wets, because Sainz was coming in, so he's getting screwed. On to the intermediates, 12 laps to go. They'll easily go to the end of the race, provided the rain keeps coming down. So now we've got Verstappen just ahead of us, 2.4 laps of fuel to use. And, yeah, let's go after him. Let's try and make something of this race. I say that, and we didn't. Apparently, because we're now on lap 29 with 12 seconds behind Verstappen, 15 seconds ahead of Perez. We're sort of completely on our own by the looks of things here. But, well, 5th place in our maiden Grand Prix for Haas F1. Kind of like Romain Grosjean this year, you know, in real life F1. Hamilton sets the fastest lap. Daniel Ricciardo wins the race. But, wow. We got gifted the position, and then the car had enough pace in the intermediate conditions to be able to hold on to it. And we're going to come through for 5th place after being last, essentially, at the start. What a start to our Haas F1 career. And what a big haul of points. That's a beautiful result, that is. Look at that. 18th to 5th. At our pace, after the top 4 being in the 139s, we were the 140s. We get driver of the day, unlike Max Verstappen, who admittedly was ahead of us, but he went from pole to 4th, whereas we went from 18th to 5th. In the wet weather conditions, treacherous. And wow, what... I honestly couldn't have asked for a better start. I really couldn't. You know, I mean, we benefited a lot from the weather. That's one thing I need to stress going forwards. We benefited a lot from the wet weather and the AI blunder. You know, I mean, the AI strategy is definitely what did it. We may have got a point if it had, you know, if they had actually done it fine, because our pace was decent, better than a lot of, you know, the second half of the you know, field teams. But, you know, 10 points in our debut for Haas. That beats last year in the Renault, that's for sure. But yeah, that's it for part 1 of Season 2. I don't know when the next one's going to be up, because I've got the footage. I've got to go through it. But yeah, if you have enjoyed, please leave a like if you did enjoy, and comment any feedback down below. Season 2 is finally here for Haas F1. I'm sorry if you didn't want to see me going from the back again, but Haas is going to give us more opportunities. So we're going to be doing that. And I will see you all next time.